Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King 3, and yes, welcome to my new series, created by yours truly, Anime King, part 1 of What If Naruto was exiled from the Otsutsuki clan. Yes guys, what if Naruto was exiled from the Otsutsuki clan, part 1. If you guys want to see part 2 and you enjoy this guys, you already know what to do. Go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And also guys, remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was Put Through Hell, and adopted by the Raikage over on Anime King 2, and enjoy that. Stay tuned for a new episode coming from Anime King and enjoy that as well guys. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support, and yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new series? Start the intro. Why did you have to challenge him? A girl asks. She looked like she was in her teen years, but she was a lot older. Her appearance seemed to be quite stunning though, for someone who was so much older. It was because of her genetics and her last name. She was after all a part of the Otsutsuki clan. Otsutsukis, powerful beings that seemed to be God in the universe. They had inhuman strength, inhuman speed, flight. They could breathe in space, that is why. The girl was standing in the empty void of space, talking to someone in front of her. She was wearing a long white dress that went down to her ankles. She was wearing flat footwear that was silver. Megatama markings were going down her dress. She had a silver hair that went down into her back. Her eyes were clear, incredibly so. Clear enough, not even a single pupil or anything. The guy in front of her, despite his age, looked like he was in his teens. Yes, he also had similar features to her, but his hair was white, and it stopped right at his neck. He was wearing a long white sleeve shirt, with a strange kind of armor over it. He was wearing white pants, with black boots. And there was a scar from his forehead going straight down to his cheek over his right eye. But his both eyes were open, showing a pure eye that they call the all-seeing eye. After all, they could use their eyes to see long distance away. The girl in front of him was angry. Her name was Urza Otsutsuki. Because her friend, her childhood friend in front of her, was exiled from their home. He couldn't go back. Even standing here talking to him right now could mean her death, but she didn't care. She didn't want to lose him. She's known him since they were children. As she reached forward and placed a hand on his face, he did not show any emotion, even though it was hard for him to leave her as well. She was the one good person there for him after everything that happened with his parents. As he clenched his fists, flashback. Disaster. The planet that they were fighting on was nothing but chaos. The reason being, it wasn't their planet. They had condemned a planet for their battle. There was a man standing there. He had light hair as well, as he had a few scratches on his clothing. He had red eyes in his palm, horns on his head that came over and curved, strange black boots that seemed to look like heels that clatter on the ground, and a white veil that was torn badly, which he shrugged off to the side. The scratches on him didn't look that bad yet. He looked quite furious for this insignificant bug to harm him in this matter. The both of them had ransacked this area of the planet that they were fighting on, tearing apart buildings, houses, for their own battle, not caring about the civilians down below, who did not flee on their impact coming here. As this guy was none other than Momoshiki, top member of the Otsutsuki clan. He looked down towards Naruto Otsutsuki, a bug compared to him. Momoshiki had a blade in his arm. The tip of the blade was drenched in blood, as Naruto was holding onto his right eye where the slash was, the newly fresh slash. The moment Naruto looked up, a boot slammed into his face so hard, his body was rocketed off the ground. He spiraled through the air and smashed through several thick and iron walls. His back went through immense pain. Before he could stop though, a boot slammed into his stomach, causing him to cough up blood. As Naruto came to a dramatic stop, breaking the ground underneath him, he reached up and grabbed Momoshiki's foot and twisted it. Momoshiki scoffed as he used the other foot to beat it in Naruto's skull. As Naruto's head rattled, but he still got his bearings in and swung Momoshiki off of him, tossing him back. Momoshiki simply stepped on the ground slowly, stopping his descent. Up in the sky there was hundreds of other Otsutsukis looking down. As Momoshiki disappeared in a burst of speed, the next thing Naruto knew, he was throat grabbed and smashed repeatedly into the ground. Momoshiki then stomped into his chest as he placed the sword right at Naruto's face. Urza, up in mid-air, watched the scene unfold in front of her. She clenched her fist so tight under her robe, no one could see it, as the others were just watching with a stoic face. Pathetic, said Momoshiki. You thought you could win against me. You have been nothing but a disappointment. And this is why I'm not gonna kill you. Instead, me and the others have come to a decision. I, Momoshiki of the first house, will lay out your crimes, and your punishment will be severe. It will not be death, it will be something worse. You are hereby stripping of your name. You are no longer Otsutsuki. You are just Naruto, a pathetic scum that belongs nowhere, because hereby now you are exiled, never to come back home ever again, because it isn't your home anymore. You are shunned by the entire world. All Otsutsukis refer to you as nothing but trash from now on, because you are no longer a part of this world, no longer a part of our people. You are nothing. As Momoshiki spat right into Naruto's face. In the flashback, Urza was holding on to his cheeks, gently cursing his face. It looked like they were together, but they were not. They just grew up together. She knew what happened, what his parents did, and things turned out so bad for him after his parents decided to leave the Otsutsuki planet, and Momoshiki and the other heads of their houses did not make it any better. Momoshiki was the worst one, always taunting him, treating him like he was a lesser being, just because he was the head of his house. And Naruto lost it as he challenged Momoshiki. But it did not end up in his favor, and now he was exiled for the things that he did in the past, and not to mention for his parents' wrongs. They were being passed on to him. It's not fair. It's not fair, she said. I'm coming with you. You can't, Urza, said Naruto. Why not? Don't you want me to come with you? Of course. You're my best friend. As he looked down, but if you do, they will hunt you down, and they will kill you for deserting. I won't let you do the same thing that my parents did. I won't let you shame your family. You shouldn't be here. Just standing here with me. You might be killed. You know they wouldn't try to kill me so easily, she said. I can know. Don't waste your breath on me. But I can't just, you will, said Naruto, as he placed a hand towards her chest. They will know. She understood what he was talking about. Go. I don't want to go. From now on, we aren't friends anymore. What? She said. We aren't friends anymore, said Naruto. You mean nothing to me. I'm leaving. And you won't ever see me again. Move on with your life. Don't try anything for me. Don't put me before your problems because it's just a waste of your time. Because I won't be grateful or thankful for anything. Slap! She slapped him across the face. As he turned his head to the side. How can you say that, she asked, after everything we've been through? As tears were in her eyes. Literal tears as she looked at him. Despite that his face was stern. It doesn't mean anything anymore. Now leave. But no, leave! He shouted at her. She gently backed away from him. As she flew off into the void of space. The moment she was far enough, he turned his back. As he rocketed forward at an unnatural speed. Racing through space. Months of him racing through space, stopping at a planet nearby to get something to eat. He wore a cloak hiding his features, not calling himself Naruto Otsutsuki. The image haunted him of what he had to do to Urza. She was his best friend and she would never let something like that go, so he knew he had to do something. If he had to play the arrogant jerk to get her to move on, he did it. He knew it was awful of him, but he had to. Months passed as he just kept on wondering, unsure what to do with his life. He had no idea if his parents were still alive or if they were dead. After what they did, he hated them. They weren't ever in a loving relationship. They did it for the houses. Something that made him despise them even more. As he rocketed through space, more months passed, him drifting like a piece of debris. As his eyes were closed, just floating there, until he opened them when he saw a planet. A planet he's never seen before. As he narrowed his eyes looking down, the side of his face, veins popped up on it. As his eyes focused, he could see the planet. He saw a massive explosion rocket underground, surprising him. Most of the planet that he visits, none of them had the strength or power to come near to Otsutsuki's strength. That is why Otsutsukis were seen as gods in the universe. So he was surprised the explosion that he just saw. And he saw a person down there, going through strange hand movements. Before he released a... what? Naruto was surprised he saw the fireball came from the person's mouth and annihilate 3 others before the person jumped back as these strange projectiles hit the ground. Naruto was curious, yes he was. Having no expectation or what to do with his life anymore, he decided to investigate what the hell was going on down there. He's never come across a planet like this before, and it piqued his interest, so he descended down. As he descended, his thoughts were still on his home. Momoshiki and the others had the authority to banish him, exile him because of the status that they were in. The Otsutsuki planet was made up of different houses. Momoshiki's house was the strongest, and he was the strongest of his house, making him the leader. Both his parents, as Naruto thought about them, they were from different houses, who were at each other's throat for a long time. His parents are not the strongest in their house, so the leaders of their house came to agreement to have the both of them marry, to squash the problem between them. The planet didn't have a true leader, just houses. Well, there was something that most people want to accomplish, and it was to become the Otsutsuki god. His father, to be exact, his father wanted that with a burning passion. His father was more focused on that than him as a child. His mother, on the other hand, was tired of it all. She refused to continue to live somewhere that she hated. She always complained about being here. She despised her house. She despised all of them, it seems. She was never outright truly angry at him or cursed at him before, but she just didn't care much. It was that for the Otsutsukis, they didn't show that much emotions. And that was how things were for them. His parents never really get along that much either. They just did for sake of their host and because they were being told to do it. As Naruto came to a stop as he landed on the planet, it was a long distance away from his home planet, seeing that he was flying at full speed most of the time, and it took him so much months to get here. As he landed, he saw the place was scorched, the area that he landed in. Bodies were on the ground. As he stepped forward, they had strange armors on. Strange brown armors. As he looked at them, he saw weapons. He picked up one of the blades. He looked at the poor craftsmanship. So this was like a planet like any others. Nothing but destruction and chaos, war. Many planets had war. He knew a planet that was fighting for about 50 years now. And because it's been so long, they didn't even know what they were fighting over anymore. But yet they did not stop, no matter what. It was always chaos and corruption. He sighed as he looked around. He didn't know what to do. Usually he was arrogant. Not that much, but he had this arrogance about him like all Otsutsuki did. Because they were the top dog. They were number one. But now, he couldn't even call himself Otsutsuki anymore. His name was taken away. He was nothing but Naruto, that alone. He refused to let something like that happen to Urza. But he hated what he had to do. You there! He was so deep in his thoughts he did not even notice, barely paying attention as someone came upon him. Naruto was curious when he saw his eyes. His eyes intrigued him. He had red eyes, with two strange tomo in them that were swirling. Naruto was confused as he never saw these eyes before. The next thing he knew, several figures flashed around him, pointed their blades at him. Identify yourself. The first one that landed said, his blade, inches from Naruto, as Naruto looked down. Hey, he's from that people with those white eyes. The Hyugas. Hyugas, Naruto said. Who are you? The next one asked, getting quite angry as he spoke. As Naruto wondered what was with the hostility, he hasn't even attacked them yet or do anything. These people seem to be really angry. But he did not care. He did not care who they were. He was still thinking about what he was going to do with his life. And these people trying to command him was really starting to piss him off. He simply turned his head and started to walk away. The moment he did that, he has to tilt his head as a weapon past him and embed it into the ground. A strange knife-like weapon as he picked it up, admiring the weapon as he twirled it on his finger. He held on to it before turning as he threw it back. The man's Sharingan saw the weapon coming, but his body was unable to move fast enough to avoid it as it pierced right through his chest. All hell broke loose as the other 7 jumped in with their weapons. They all stabbed down where he was, but Naruto was gone. They turned as they saw Naruto walking away, as he just chose to ignore them. He thought after that they would go away, but they did not. Are you still following me? He said as he saw all of them appear in front of him. You just killed one of our own. Do you really think we're gonna let you live after that? As Naruto sighed, he vanished, snap! The one that spoke got his neck broken, as his body was tossed into another. A vicious swing came towards his throat, inches from his throat, as Naruto grabbed the blade, before snapping it as he pierced it right through the man's eye. He then jumped and did a roundhouse kick, snapping the other one's neck, taking down 3 of them in seconds. The 4th one came as he brought his blade down. As Naruto turned, he black-handed the blade before grabbing the throat of the man and lifted him, crushing his throat as he smashed his head into the ground. The 5th one came as he threw 2 kunais. Naruto caught them mid-air as he drive his blade forward. Naruto used the kunai to stab through the blade. As he shattered the kunais with the blade, he then kicked the man's heart right through his chest. With the amount of strength that he had in his body, that he was now pouring out because they were ticking him off, it was abnormal. The other 2 tried to move back, but Naruto moved, grabbing their head as he smashed it together with unbelievable force, shattering their skull. He then turned and started to walk away, having enough of them by now. As he felt his stomach rumble, he was starting to get hungry. But this place, it looked like there was nothing but chaos and war. This was unlike other planets. As he activated his eyes, something the man said intrigued him. The Byakugan and these eyes. He should have left one of them alive. Well, there had to be more around here. As his eyes scanned the entire place, searching far and wide, that is when he saw two boys over to the distance. As he vanished in a burst of speed. Given his physique, and not to mention his facial features, Naruto looked like he was about 14 to 15 years old. But it was just his genes. The Otsutsukis took a long time to age. Not to mention they take a long time to die. Thousands of years they can live on for. Their aging progress was remarkable. Something that other planets wonder how it happened, but the Otsutsukis were mostly secretive. Well, they had their clan secrets, their house secrets, and other things. Not to mention their eyes. Most of them had a unique eye, and Naruto also had a unique eye as well, which failed to even defeat Momoshiki. He looked towards his hand and clenched his fists. Ignoring that for now, he decided to see what the two boys were talking about. They must have some information. One of them had jet black hair, as he was scowling at the other boy. But it wasn't a scowl with hate, as Naruto was glad that they don't seem to be at each other's throats like everyone else. As the other one then lowered his head and a strange cloud came over his head. He was moping in sadness. He had darkish hair as well. The both of them seemed to be around 12 years old. As Naruto just watched them, he then saw the moody one looked up. Did he sense him? As the moody one looked up toward the spot where Naruto was standing over the rock peak, so he could not see his face or see him. What's wrong, Hashirama? I don't know, Madara. I think there's someone there. Madara's eyes went wide at that. As he looked towards Hashirama, the both of them were about to scatter. Naruto didn't want to scare them off, he just wanted some information. As he flashed and appeared in front of the two, instantly, the one that was known as Madara rushed through hand sign. As Hashirama noticed that, he then released a fireball out of his mouth. Naruto's eyes narrowed at that. Interesting, he said. As he sidestepped the fireball, both boys then scatter, quickly moving off, like they didn't want to be caught. Naruto vanished, as Hashirama found himself being grabbed by the back of the neck, and he was gone. As Naruto vanished again, Madara was grabbed by the back of the neck. The both of them were thrown down on the ground. They quickly got ready to easy, said Naruto. But Madara did not stop as he threw a fist towards Naruto, who caught it with ease, before flipping the boy, as he slammed him on the ground, as he winks a bit. I didn't mean to hurt you. Calm down. As Hashirama started to reach behind him, as Naruto sighed. Look, I'm not here to fight, he said, as he looked at the two of them. I just want some information. But the both of them clearly did not trust him, distrust in their eyes. Let's start over. I am Naruto. He paused. The name is Naruto, he said. But neither of them said anything, as Naruto sighed as he sat down. Seems like he had to block a fist from Madara, and a spinning kick once again from Madara. Hashirama came behind him and brought his fist down as Naruto blocked it. They weren't even gonna let up a bit. He grabbed their arm as he lifted them off the ground before flying up in the air. He then brought them down with a small amount of force, knocking the both of them out cold. As he sighed, moments later, the both of them started to come to. At the same time, that was wonderful for him. Madara struggled against his bindings. What the hell, he said, as he tried to get out but he could not. As Hashirama realized he was caught as well, he thought that he was already dead. Knowing this world, this war-torn world, no one would survive. So he was confused why he was still alive. As they thought that he could get away. But this guy, whoever he is, he's fast, incredibly so. As Naruto sighed in front of the both of them. he was eaten. As Hashirama didn't look, "Hey, that's mine," he said. "Oh, sorry about that. Guess I got a bit hungry," said Naruto. That is what I was gonna ask anyway. Where can I get some food around here? And what exactly is going on? "Who are you?" said Madara. "Oh, as I said before, my name is Naruto. And from what I heard, you're Hashirama, and you're Madara, correct?" Neither of them confirm it. "Look, I know you don't trust me, but I'm not here to cause you any harm. If I wanted to, I could have killed you guys a long time ago. I mean, you were unconscious. What do you want then?" "Just to talk." As Naruto moved forward, as he held on to the bindings that he found on Madara to be exact, and just popped it with strength, Madara was shocked. That was ninja wire to bind the enemies who they want to bring back, and he popped it so easily. "Alright, you're free. No run off," said Naruto, "because I'll just catch you." Madara narrowed his eyes as Naruto sighed. "You know what? Try and run," he said. "I'll just knock you once again and tie you up." "Well, if you don't want to fight, what do you want?" asked Hashirama. "Well, I'm new here, so I want to know what's going on." "Hey, those eyes. You're from that Hyuga clan," said Madara as narrowed his eyes. "I've heard that before. What's a Hyuga?" said Naruto. "Wait, you don't know?" Hashirama said. Neither boys had told each other about which clan they were from. They haven't did that yet, and they didn't want to, because the both of them had a dream that will change this world. Those guys with white eyes that have far vision, that stick to themselves. They're not in this war though. "So it is a war," said Naruto. "Wait, where are you from?" "Somewhere far, far away from here," said Naruto as he turned towards Hashirama. "You seem more nicer than him." "Well, I am the nicer one," said Hashirama. "Hashirama," said Madara. "You shouldn't trust people that easily." "Look, I'm not here to cause you guys any harm," said Naruto. "I just want to know a few things. The Hyugas, you say they have eyes like mine. Can they do this as well?" As Naruto focused, and then the veins popped up beside his head. "Yeah, from what I've heard," said Madara. "That's interesting," said Naruto. He wondered if there was an Otsutsuki here that had children. That would explain the powers. As Naruto focused on the two boys, he then saw it. "You have power as well," he said. "Power? You mean chakra," said Hashirama. "Chakra? What's that?" "What do you mean, what's that?" "You're using it to see your chakra." "What are you talking about?" said Naruto. Both Madara and Hashirama looked at each other. The both of them gave each other a tense look, after all. They knew each other possessed chakra. They already had a thought which clan each other came from. After all, their clans weren't exactly friendly with each other. To be more precise, they outright hated each other. "Wait, you mean this?" said Naruto as he held up his hand, as a ball of chakra formed in his palm. "Whoa, how do you do that so easily?" As Naruto thought to himself, they were talking about the power that the Otsutsukis absorb to create the chakra fruit. So on this planet, they call it chakra. Interesting name. There was different names for it on other planets, and the substance were in almost everyone. Some of them it was life force, but on this planet they were talking about chakra. Well, he's never heard that name before, but this planet intrigued him because it is seeming more and more like Otsutsuki has been down here and had children because these powers. "Hey! Oh, sorry about that. I just got lost in my thoughts," said Naruto. "So as you were saying, this chakra, everyone here has it." "Yeah, but you have to know how to control it and utilize it in the best way. But you people use it for fighting." "That's the way it is," said Madara. "What do you want?" asked Madara. "As I said, information," said Naruto. "Could you stop being such a brute?" "Yeah, he's always that way. Just see with him." Hashirama, Madara said. "Sorry," said Hashirama. As Naruto laughed, the relationship reminded him of him and Urza. It was quite funny. "So these people that have the same eyes as I, do they call it Byakugan?" As both boys narrowed their eyes. "So that confirmed it. As Naruto looked down, a mutation of the Otsutsuki genes created the Sharingan. Of course he knew what it was. The Byakugan, he had the same eyes. He also knew what the Rinnegan was. So that just confirmed it, whoever it was. The Otsutsukis on this planet managed to pass on all the genes going through history. And they managed to pass it on down to their family. That's interesting, said Naruto as he got to his feet. As he then turned his back. Do you know of the Otsutsuki? Naruto asked. Neither boys said anything because they didn't know what he was talking about. As Naruto turned back to them, well, do you? What's the Otsutsuki? Asked Hashirama. Well, I guess you don't know, said Naruto. So it was kept a secret then. What the hell are you talking about, said Madara. Nothing for you to worry about, said Naruto. I wonder who it was though. The Otsutsuki went to different planets, where they plant the seed for the god tree to grow, and then they eat the fruit. But if they allow the Jubi to be born, and then pass on the sacrifice, that is after the sacrifice placed their karma mark on someone they found worthy, and then they took over that person's body to emerge on the karma. That would make the fruit just more powerful. But without the sacrifice, the fruit still grant great power. Naruto has never sacrificed anyone before, but he has sucked that planet dry with his seed. Many of them had done it before. But Momoshiki had more free reins to do as he pleased, just because he was the head of his house. He had the privilege to get stronger while the rest of them had to stay back. After all, they couldn't have fought for so much of them to get stronger. The rules wouldn't matter anymore. But he wasn't given any seeds while he was being thrown out of the clan, because they knew if he had God's son, well, he would have come back the most powerful, because he would have planted them all over planets and just come back and devour them. And then he would go back there and kill Momoshiki himself. But the seeds were kept away from everyone, locked away in some secretive place, only offered to them when they seem worthy. And he was worthy once, until everything got taken away from him because of his parents. He clenched his fist at that, but he released his fist. There was no need to get angry over the past. He then turned back with a smile. So, got anything else to eat, he asked as he looked towards Hashirama. You're still hungry? Hashirama said, as Naruto simply shrugged. Well, this isn't an orphanage, said Madara. If you want food, go ahead and find it. And where do I find food on this planet, said Naruto. Everywhere I go it's chaos and war. I was even attacked coming here by those guys with the Sharingan, said Naruto. What do you call them, said Naruto, as Hashirama also wanted to speak. Uchihas. Uchihas. So the Uchihas and who are warring, said Naruto. The Senju, said Madara. And what caused this war? With time. The lines are blurring, said Madara. So let me guess. It happened a long time ago, and they just can't find themselves to stop it. Yeah, said Hashirama. That is why. Madara glared at him, stopping him from talking. That is why what? Let me guess, you don't trust me enough to tell me, said Naruto as he looked towards Madara. You know you're really not trusting. But I have an idea. You guys want to stop this, huh? Madara glared at Naruto, as he looked like he was ready to fight once again. Calm down. You know I'm a lot stronger than you, right? I can easily, as Naruto appeared behind him, and lifted him up by the back of the neck, kill him with a simple flick of my wrist. As Madara looked back at Naruto, completely shocked before Naruto lowered him. How did you... Was that raw speed? Did you teleport? Asked Hashirama. Teleport? No, said Naruto. I just ran. How are you so fast? Well, let's just say I'm different, said Naruto. Get me some food, and I'll tell you a lot of things. And perhaps I'll even help you get stronger so you can stop this war. Because given the both of your states, you're not strong enough to do anything. As the both of them glared at him slightly. Well, I'm not lying, said Naruto. Look, try and hit me. If you can hit me, I'll take back my comment. You'll regret that, said Madara. Try not to hold back. Use everything that you have, said Naruto. As the both of them looked at each other, they gave each other a nod before they shot forward They had good speeds despite their young age. But to Naruto they were moving in slow motion as he came towards him with a swinging kick while Madara did, as Hashirama came at him low. As Naruto smirked, he simply stepped back, ruining their momentum as he knocked Madara down to the ground. But Madara used the momentum to flip, twisting mid-air as he brought on his leg as Naruto brought his arm up and grabbed Madara's leg and twisted him, throwing him right into Hashirama who was trying to sneak up on him as both boys are sent rolling. They quickly got back to their feet ready to charge once again. But Naruto was gone. As he looked up, he was standing on the wall, looking over. The both of them rushed up the wall as they came to a stop behind him. This place has been through a lot, huh? As Naruto Byakugan were activated, as he could see far off in the distance, there was a lot of scorched ground and destroyed area. The both of them lowered their guard slightly while Madara slid his guard up, not like Hashirama, who didn't see Naruto as a threat anymore. He didn't seem to be a bad guy. "It's getting late," said Madara. "I have to go." Hashirama looked up at the sun as he nodded. The sun was going down. "Hey, Hashirama, you should get going as well," said Madara. "I have to go now," he said. He glanced back at Naruto as he just flashed off, quickly making his way. "What are you gonna do?" said Hashirama as he looked at Naruto. "I have no idea," said Naruto. "I'm still pretty hungry, and I haven't the slightest idea where to get food on this planet." "This planet? You say it like you've been to other planets." Naruto simply smiled. "Who are you really?" asked Hashirama. "Given this planet civilization, you wouldn't believe me if I told you." "What's that supposed to mean?" "Well, let's just say your planet's a bit on the lower side than planets I've been to. Or you're serious about helping us get stronger so we can stop this?" "So you're trusting me now," said Naruto. "No. Well, if I can't trust anyone, what's the point?" said Hashirama. "That's a good philosophy," said Naruto. "But yes, I don't really have anything much else to do, so I can't help you," said Naruto. "Why? Why would you go to your way to do that? And not to mention with your strength, you can do so much things." Like, he knew that people with Naruto's power would be bad. "I've been through it already," said Naruto. "And trust me, it's fun at first. But when you realize that..." As Naruto looked down. "Realize that what?" "Nothing for you to worry about," said Naruto. "So yeah, I can help you. Besides, I want to see what you and Madara are gonna do. I want to see if you guys can change this world. It will be a fun experiment to watch unfold." "Well then, if you stay here, I'll bring you some food tomorrow." "Tomorrow?" said Naruto. "But that's the only time I can come back." "Alright, fine," Naruto said. "Guess I'll just wait here. After all, I did eat your lunch, so it's your only proper thing to do." "Alright then, I'll be off," Hashirama said. He glanced at Naruto one more time, as he quickly went off, as Naruto sat down. Despite everything, he felt terrible, because his mind kept on running on Urza. With their longevity, they could be away from each other for years upon years. But he knew, with the recent, actions that he has befall upon himself, with this exile, if he sighs, he lowered himself on the ground, leaned up against the boulder behind him. He couldn't go back home, and he didn't want to get her killed, because he just wanted to be there. He sighed quite angrily as he picked himself back up. If his parents hadn't abandoned the clan, chose to take their own way out of this, things wouldn't have turned so bad, and he hated them for everything they've done. He hated them for abandoning him as well, despite them never really having a strong relationship. He hated them. He despised them. As he just got up and started to walk, he figured he would take a detour on this planet to see how things are. And besides, he wanted to find those Byakugan users. He really wanted to know who was the Otsutsuki that come down his planet and bestowed upon them their powers. After all, it had to be Otsutsuki. Who else could it be? As he simply made his way off, he walked through the night. People were coming. It seems like everyone out here had it out for someone. He lifted off the ground as he simply flew up in the air, making his way. As he came by a long beach side, which he came to settle down on, the rushing waters, and not to mention giant whirlpools. As he landed on the shore, the moment he landed, he saw something light up underneath him. He looked at it strangely as he didn't know what it was. The water started to get more rapid and violent. He was confused by the whole endeavor. As he picked himself up, he started to walk. The more he walked, the more he noticed that he was near to some kind of village. As he kept on moving, he had to come to a stop though as he noticed there was a strange. He activated his Byakugan. His eyes could see quite clearly. There was this strange barrier, some veil that was protecting this place, which he could not enter. He then saw someone step right through it, like it wasn't even there. The person narrowed his eyes at Naruto. "Who are you?" It was a man with long red hair. "My name is Naruto." "What is this place?" said Naruto. "Why are you here?" the man asked. As he noticed Naruto's eyes. "You're a Hyuga." As he noticed that Naruto's eyes were clearer though, from the Hyugas that he has seen. Well, they haven't showed themselves that much, but their eyes didn't look that clear like Naruto's. His eyes were really clear. He was surprised that Hyuga was moving away from their home, as they always stick together, so that was weird for him. "A Hyuga," said Naruto. "No, you have me mistaken. You have their eyes." "Have you been exiled from the clan?" the man asked. "Exile," said Naruto. "Yeah, you can say that. But not from the Hyuga clan. Trust me, I'm not a part of their clan despite my looks." "What is this place?" "You're at the Land of the Whirlpool, Urza." "What do you want?" the man asked. "You don't seem to be an enemy. I can sense no malice coming from you." "Sense it," said Naruto. "Yes." "Well, some food would be nice," Naruto said. The man looked up at Naruto up and down. "How were you able to get past the whirlpools?" "I flew over it." "Flew?" "Yeah," said Naruto, as he stepped forward. "So, where are we on that food?" "I was gonna fish, but this water doesn't leave much fish around. These twirling whirlpools, they don't even look natural." "You really don't know of us?" the man asked. "No, who are you?" "I'm an Uzumaki." "What's that?" said Naruto. The man looked at Naruto curiously. He was confused. Just who was this? As someone else walked out. "What does he want?" Another redhead asked. "I'm not here for any hostility," said Naruto. "Your nice friend here was just offering me some food." As the second guard looked at him. Time skip. As an old man came out. Well, he looked older than the rest, given that he had grey hair, mixed in with his red, as he was wearing a rather ceremonial robe. But yet he looked quite calm, not looking at Naruto with any anger like how Madara looked at him when they just met. As he looked over at the youngster who was chomping down, as one of the guards had brought him food. He was surprised to see that he got here, and got through the whirlpools, but from what he heard, he flew here. That was rather impressive. As the man walked over, his name was Kagami, as he was the leader of the Uzumakis. As he stepped towards Naruto, who looked up. "Hey, thanks for the food again," said Naruto, as he continued to eat. Having not much to do, Naruto figured it would be best to be nice to people. He could push his dominance over them, because he was sure none of them here could actually test him when it comes to fighting, or either a battle. But he was just curious about this planet, and he also wanted to know, who the hell was the Otsutsuki that came here? Yes, he really wanted to know. As he thanked the man for the food, the man finally spoke. "It's not a problem," the man said, as he looked down towards Naruto. "You're really unaware of the Uzumakis?" "Well, considering that I just learned about the Senjus and the Uchihas." "Yes," said Naruto. Is that so? May I ask, where are you from?" "Well, I'm not from this planet." "Planet?" You're telling me from a different planet? Kagamai asked, as he came over and sat down. Yes, said Naruto. A planet far, far away from this place. So you guys are Uzumakis? Clans like the Senjus and the Uchihas? Are you guys in the war as well? Oh, not really. We are. Families with the Senju, but we do not participate in war. It's a good thing you came here asking for food. If you had went towards the Senjus or the Uchihas, you would have been attacked. Mostly by the Uchihas right away. The Senjus have probably asked questions about Uchihas. Probably would have not. You're correct, said Naruto. I got surrounded, and I was questioned by them. They didn't even wait for me to answer, they just straight up attacked me. Rather violent people. Probably has to do with their eyes, said Naruto, as he continued to eat. You're a curious fellow, Kagamai said. Is that so, said Naruto. I sense no malice or hatred from you, as you speak to me right now. In this world, malice and hatred is always everywhere. Well, I don't have a reason to have malice and hatred towards you, said Naruto. So, what's the point of that? Perhaps you're right. But you seem to be calm, said Naruto. From what I've seen, everyone in this world is rather cautious. The Uzumakis are good, heartful people, headstrong at most time. But we do not believe in the sake of fighting. Peace is the best way to get through things. Peace, huh? Said Naruto. You're rather different from most people I've met before. Well, your clan, your beliefs. So you're the leader, said Naruto, as Kagamai nodded. As Naruto finished the food, as he stretched. That was amazing, he said. I guess different place, different cuisines. As he smiled. You don't mind if I stay here, said Naruto. Don't really have anywhere else to go. Kagamai looked up and down at Naruto. No. It will make me a bad guest let you sleep out here. Come, I shall find you somewhere to stay. As Naruto looked at him. What's wrong, Kagamai said. You're just really nice, said Naruto. I'm surprised. Usually, people just don't let in people that easily. Well, I have a rather adept sensory ability, the best in my clan. And I can feel you down to your soul. There is something that is putting you off, but it's not me or my clan. In fact, I can feel there is no malice towards any of us. You just really wanted a place to rest and eat something, correct? Well, you're right, said Naruto. But I can also sense that you're remarkably powerful. Said Naruto with a smirk. And this plant that you say you're from, I'm rather interested in hearing about it, if you wish. Well, consider your hospitality and your niceness. I don't see the problem in telling you, said Naruto. You seem like a wise old man. Well, come then, said Kagamai, as his fingers started to glow. As he asked Naruto for his hand, as Naruto gave him it, the man drew a seal on the back of Naruto's arm. And then they walked through the barrier. As Naruto was surprised, and he completely walked through it. He could have just drained the chakra that the barrier was using to power it, but as he said, he didn't want to fight, and he had no reason to, but he was amazed. As he was greeted with a different sight, a beautiful, beautiful sight, red and black walls, beautiful buildings, and not to mention the air feel pure and calm. It was currently night time as the lamps were on outside, on their houses, lighting the road. The beautiful red walkway. The stone was carved in a beautiful way, swirling pattern on their houses. As Naruto stepped forward, the place felt so light and easy. This place was truly remarkable. As Naruto smiled looking around, this place is amazing, he said. I'm glad you enjoyed the view, said Kagamai. No, it's really amazing, said Naruto as he looked around. He has seen some pretty places in his life, but the reason being he really liked red. So, he was kind of biased to the color. But he had to say this place was really amazing. As they walked forward, many people were looking at him, but yet there was no malice or hate. They were just curious, as Kagamai brought him toward the largest mansion. As two guards looked at them before nodding as they stepped aside. As they made their way inside, there was people there. Dad, you're back. As a little girl, ran up to her father and hugged him. As he hugged her back, she looked to be around the same age as Hashirama and Madara. As he ruffled her hair, I told you it wasn't a problem, Mito, he said. As Mito looked up, who is he? Well, this was the guy that was outside. So he's the reason why you went out there. So what does he want? Now, Mito. Don't be so rude. Oh, it's not a problem, said Naruto. That's more of a reaction that I'm used to. You people are just so nice. But I guess not you. As he laughed. Hey, I'm nice, said Mito. Sure you are, said Naruto. My name is Naruto. Nice to meet you, as he extended his hand. She took his hand. My name is Mito. Nice to meet you. But guys, if you ain't subscribed right here, if you want to see the next part, then do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications to stay posted. But for now, see you guys soon. Peace.